put a real valuable comment. Like something that you could do is if they are talking about how to do social audio and they have a good tip there, but it's incomplete, you could comment and say,
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hey everyone. Hi, Jonathan Howard.
hello, Mimi Langley.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Oh my goodness.
It's 2025. Officially? Is it officially 2025 or is it not?
Officially 2025. It's going to be a good year. I have a good feeling about this year, as I do with every year. But this year feels, I don't know, how are you feeling?
How did you feel about last year?
I thought 2024 was going to be huge, and it really was huge. It was a big year.
I'm glad it was a big year for you.
You want to know one of the biggest things that happened?
What?
I got upgraded to first class for the first time in my life on an airplane.
Every time you flew now.
I know. They use real China, you guys. They give you your water.
It's real fake
glass.
China.
I'm like, are you sure you trust me with this? But yeah, it was, I don't know why, and I don't know why that was like the highlight of the year.
Well, hey, whatever makes it a good year, celebrate your wins, and nobody's telling you.
Forget everything else.
Yeah. Did you give up your first class on this last trip, or did you just take it?
I did.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I did. I gave it to my husband because he's never experienced it. And I was like, why don't we both experience it? Ellie, my daughter, has even experienced it. So I'm like, I got to give it to him or else I'm a horrible person.
You're fair. That's fair.
But
Very
here's the thing. They fed him because we had a longer flight, and they feed you on longer flights.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had like that, the fancy bagel with the salmon and the capers. I said, are you kidding me? I'm back here with my bag of pretzels. Like, this is not fair.
Yep. I will tell you one thing that I won't do again is fly coach to Europe. Never again.
You get food though.
You get food, but you're crammed into a seat that, first of all, the dividers on the seats in front of you didn't line up with your seats. There was 4 seats and 3 dividers, which meant that there was a freaking divider in the middle of your foot. My legs got so cramped. Yeah, it was a mess.
It's not bigger. It's not bigger on international flights. Coach is coach.
Well, and the thing was, we weren't scheduled in coach. Our flight got canceled the night of our flight. So we had to rebook on another airline.
And it's a long flight. How many hours was it?
It's a long flight. 11 hours from Barcelona. 9 hours to Madrid, 11 hours from Barcelona.
We flew one time from LAX to the Philippines, direct flight. And I think it was like 15 hours, something like that. It was crazy. But at least you can get up and walk. Did you walk the airplane?
Yeah, I mean, I had to because with my heart, I couldn't sit that long. That was one of the things my cardiologist said, like, you got to walk, you got to have your compression socks. Should we jump into our mini episode? Because we have a mini episode
I feel like
today.
We should skip it and talk about Spain.
We got this content series coming up in January for everybody, but
stick around, guys, because this is the start of the content series. So make sure you're following Coffee Social. Just go to your podcast page and you'll see a word follow or subscribe. Same thing for YouTube. Oh wait, we have to introduce ourselves too.
Yeah, we'll do that. My name's Jonathan Howard. I'm the owner of Success on Social, and I help successful coaches reach their ideal clients on social media through their signature style. Mimi, over to you.
I want to just copy yours. It's just straight to the point. Hi, everyone. I'm Mimi Langley. I teach women in business how to moderate and host audio-only events. And I like to call them like audio marketing, like social audio is audio marketing, where you can gain visibility, stand out from the same old content that people are used to seeing, grow, your credibility in your area, your niche, grow your email list. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, that's what I teach.
You're done.
We're talking about things that we should be focusing on when we are creating content for 2025. These are like insider, like you're the insider, Jonathan. Like, how are you getting these tips? Do you want to reveal like your source, or is this just kind of like what you've observed?
It's partially what I've observed. And you'll know if you go and read, because I've written some blogs and LinkedIn articles about some of these things. Like there's a series on LinkedIn that I've written about this stuff. But a lot of it is what I've seen with a little bit of snark, because a lot of what I've seen, one that we're not going over today, is like focusing on niche virality, focusing on your people, and then go, not viral, because it's not really viral, because it doesn't meet the definition of viral, but get a really great video for your people. And there's a focus on that. That's really taking shape. And I've been saying this for 3 years. So there's a little bit of snark in some of mine, but I get a lot from Hootsuite. Does a year, like a preview of what's coming up in the year. Sprout Social does one, and I pull a lot of the numbers specifically from that, and I will sometimes use the numbers to state what I believe will happen.
I love that. And I don't think I've ever asked you that question before, because I know you're a person in the industry, like you're a social media guru, okay? Even if you don't like the word guru. I just automatically, I'm like, I don't even question where is he getting his information? Like I just automatically
and it's good to question, because I always tell people trust but verify.
Yeah.
And that's your verification. And that's good. That's how you should do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, but before we have 3 insider tips for you guys about content for this year. But before we dive into the 3, like I think number 1 is you want to test. And I know you agree with this, Jonathan.
Yep. You have to test content. You will never know what's going to perform until you test it. Nobody knows what's going to work on your profile. And because of that, just see trending out there, what's working, what works for you, and what special spin do you want to put on it to make it your own. And then test those different things and see. Some of them will hit and some of them will miss terribly. And that's okay. It's part of the process.
Yeah. And I feel like we should have a whole episode on how to test, like truly test. Because I feel like some people are like, I did it once, didn't work out for me.
That's not testing.
All right. See, we're creating, what is this, like a cliffhanger. So you guys stick with us. We'll have something this year about testing, how to really test your content. But let's dive in. Are you ready, Jonathan?
Go.
Okay. So the first one is, well, why don't you kick us off? The first one is about entertainment.
Yep. You got to entertain your audience. You added this in
the show notes, so you tell us.
I added this in the show notes, and I said it last year, and I'm saying it again. And Hootsuite supports me in this. And what I'm going to ask you is, what do you do when you go on social media? When you get home from work, what do you do?
Scroll my feed.
Scroll your feed. You go into a death spiral, looking for something that's going to what?
Make me laugh.
Bingo.
Yeah.
People don't go to social media for learning about your new offer. They go to social media to be entertained because they had a long day and they don't want to think about things right now. So you need to get in front of people by entertaining them. And I know there's a lot of industries that are telling me, I can't do that. I can't do that. There's no way. Well, there is a way. There are people that are finding ways to do it all over the place. I mean, there is a snarky real estate agent telling people that this home is perfect for them to plot the miserable whatever. She says awful things and she's selling real estate and it's hilarious. And guess what? She's successful. There's people are watching it. So finding a way in your niche to entertain, and that's based on your audience. What does your audience want to see? What are they looking for? What makes them laugh? Because like Mimi said, making them laugh is huge. So how do you make them laugh? And how do you get them to say, that's so me? That's the golden ticket.
I was going to say, like, as soon as the person says that, oh my gosh, that's so me, I share the heck out of content like that. I was also thinking, you would always say, like, what is it? Because it's education combined with entertainment.
Yeah.
What is it?
Edutainment.
So it can be funny. Like, entertainment doesn't always have to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, sometimes I just need something that I don't have to overthink. Like if I'm, I don't want your reel to give me a geography lesson necessarily. Sometimes I don't want to consume that, right? So for example, maybe you are someone who, I don't know, you write like you have a cookbook that you're trying to sell. Then make a reel that's like the day in the life of what I eat, or you know what I mean? Like something that's easy flowing. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's a chef that cooks, well, I guess he's a baker that makes cakes and pies and all this stuff. And his pug, and his apron, pretty much. That's all. And throws the ingredients into the bowl and literally throws them so they're like hitting the camera, and it's engaging.
Yes.
And, you find a way to give people entertainment. And no, you don't only have to be wearing an apron or have a pug. It probably helps, but
that's what separates you from me just sitting here staring at the camera saying, hey, you guys, I just made this chicken salad recipe. I have it available on my website if you want a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like that to me is probably not going to stop the scroll. So, right. Yeah.
Showing them how to make the chicken salad and, how you sharpen your knives at the beginning in front of the camera so that it gets their attention.
Or who's joining you in the kitchen? Like maybe you have your dog as like a little sidekick, like or the cat or the baby or whatever.
Whatever. Food, babies, dogs always win. So all of that works, especially if you're in one of those niches. So yeah.
Okay. So entertain your audience. Next one. Be
a comment
queen. Oh, okay. I was a little delayed, but here we go.
A little delayed. We tried to do it together. Be a comment queen. What the hell does it mean, Mimi?
Be a comment.
Do you know what I mean?
I noticed this when I joined LinkedIn more than ever. Like I noticed that commenting was really the way to grow.
Yeah.
And get your name out there. Yeah.
Commenting on LinkedIn is huge. And this is one that I've been saying for years. Go engage, build relationships by commenting on people's content, because that's where you're going to see other people engaging with you, their audience, somebody else's audience engaging with you, them finding you. And if you put valuable information, whether you agree, disagree, whether you want to be respectful or rude, whatever it is, if it's valuable information for people, and yes, I did say you can be rude. Rude is not going to go over well, but you could. There's ways to do it. But
it's
if you're
not necessarily rude.
Content,
you're just disagreeing.
Yeah. Correcting people.
I don't think you're ever rude, right? I don't think you're rude. I think you're just, you're not agreeing with what the person's saying.
Yeah. And sometimes I very vehemently disagree with somebody. Yes, vehemently. We'll define
another
that
word I have to get the dictionary out for.
We'll define that one in the
thank you.
In the show notes for you.
I feel like that's part of our signature style. You're also learning words.
So like there's some people that I very strongly disagree with. And I will make it very known that I disagree with them.
Okay, commenting. And again, like I feel like I found it on LinkedIn, but I see it all the time on Threads. I'm sure you see it all the time on Instagram. Yep. Even YouTube. Comment on other people's channels that are, somewhat in your target audience. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And your people. Your people are going to appreciate like your entire audience. How good is it if you comment on one of your people's posts and they get so excited that they share it and they say how great you are just for commenting? That's normal. And when you start to do that regularly and provide real valuable comments, don't just put like skull and crossbones, because that isn't valuable to people. Put a real valuable comment. Like something that you could do is if they're talking about how to do social audio and they have a good tip there, but it's incomplete, you could comment and say, I love this tip. It's so important that people do this. And also they could try doing this as well. That adds value to the post already. The original creator may know that already, but it shows up as you being an expert in other people's comments.
Yeah, smart.
And that gets their audience to see you.
I know part of me, though, feels like with that type of commenting, I think it just depends on what it is, because I just don't want to overstep the original creator of the post.
And you don't have to by affirming them.
Yeah.
And then adding on.
Yeah.
You're not.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And usually, I mean, a lot of creators, when they do posts like that, they'll say, do you have any more tips? Or, they'll prompt you to add in some way. So I was going to real quickly, because we were talking about like how excited you get when somebody that you look up to or follow actually comments back or comments on your content. And guess who did in 2024? I took a screenshot, but I can't find it. I'll find it. I should have favorited it so I can. By the way,
Was it the real person?
No,
Or was
it was
it a
Sarah
fake?
Blakely
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying
from
that.
Spanx.
Yep.
We were talking about Red Lobster. Anyways, shout out to Red Lobster.
Want me to give you a quick game plan for commenting?
Sure.
Take 10 minutes a day and then alternate days. But like on Monday, comment on 10 people in your audience. On Tuesday, comment on 10 people that are influencers, that are leaders, that are people that you align with in your niche. Next day, 10 people in your audience. Next day, 10 people that are leaders, influencers. Comment on their posts, add valuable comments, and maybe set the bell for a few of those influencers so that you get notified when they are posting something new so you can be one of the first to get in there. Because when you're the first to respond, more people see it. And when you are the first to really actually add a valuable response, the creator is more likely to respond to you.
Agree. Because they're looking, usually when they post, they kind of give their, especially the big ones, they're on there for like at least the first hour.
Yep.
You know, and then
And
after
it may
that,
not be
it's
the
kind of like,
person.
huh?
It may not be the person, but that's okay.
Right. Well, yeah, whatever.
You got
it was
somebody's
Sarah
attention.
Blakely, but you know.
Yeah. You got somebody's attention.
Very good. That's a great plan. Okay. Last one we have on the list, you guys. Start creating long form content. Start with that, with the long form content. And that way it may be easier for you to execute short form content. What do you think?
I agree 100%. One of
And
the
we can
things
throw the
that
word repurposing in there. Let's throw
repurposing, because you're repurposing your content that you've already created, and you're doing it in a way that's going to help you in the long run. It's a great workflow. It's one of the things that I started doing about mid-year this year. For those of you that are on my email list, you'll notice that I've been consistent for the second half of the year getting an email out almost weekly.
I'm on there. We'll put the link for it below, you guys.
Yeah.
Get on there for 2025.
Almost weekly I've been doing that. So, and then I'm able to repurpose that into LinkedIn articles, into posts on LinkedIn, into Instagram. My 2025, I almost said 2015, 10 years late. My 2025 trends, I have 9 of them, and they're going to be 9 separate posts on Instagram. And they're easy to do because I already wrote it.
And, you know, I didn't even, because when I was thinking long form content, you know, I'm thinking like, you know, a long YouTube video or a blog post, typically because those are like 500 words or more. But I never really would have considered email, like your email list, to be part of it. But it's true because usually anyways, you write longer in your emails.
Yeah. I try to give more value in my emails and tips and tricks and stuff. Yeah. And then I can use that. So, and you could do anything. You could do your podcast. You can break your podcast down into posts.
Your social audio room.
Yep. All of it. So always bigger. Well, not always. Because you can do little to big as well, which is just testing different things. And then when something takes off, you kind of do the next step of it. And then you built an entire
Can we talk
program.
about that for a second? Because I do like the way that you went opposite for a second. Again, test, and also figure out what works for you. Maybe you're not a long form person, you know, but I like the idea of building to create the long form. Like, I think that's brilliant. Like, if you know, like you said, put a post out there and people really like what you just had to say about that, then you could add more and make a blog post or something like that.
Yep. And one of the ways I did it, I created a reel that talked about developing your signature style. That did really well. So then I did a carousel that went deeper into that, which once that carousel did well, I created a blog, or I think it was a LinkedIn article. So it was a different platform, but that did well. So that was the basis of a masterclass that I then taught.
Wow. That's a great example. Wow.
Yeah. And just build up, and then you have all your content slowly
See, they all
building.
have like pros, because that right there is a huge pro, right? And then if you do long form, another pro for long form could be getting picked up by Google, you know, for SEO, you know, something like that. So like there's a lot of pros for both sides.
And it takes less time to create content if you actually repurpose from a piece that's already written.
Right.
Put in the time
especially
to
for
write
those
a
that
good blog.
struggle with being consistent on social. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's the 3. I don't want this episode to end, but If you guys want
This
more,
was another short episode.
I know, like 1 hour later.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want more, then ask us. Also,
Yes.
make sure you review us on whatever platform you want. Anywhere you can leave a review. Maybe even Apple.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. However, Mimi does like 5 stars. So if you could give her 5 stars, she would greatly appreciate it. We don't want her crying again. We really don't. It's sad.
It really is sad to see me cry.
Yep. And on
Why
that
does my
note, I'm
hand
going
look
to
so
pass it
big,
over
by
to
the way?
Mimi.
My hand looks huge.
Because you're
Put
pushing
your
it close
hand
to
up.
the camera.
No,
Closer to
it's
the
not even
camera, the bigger it
close.
looks.
Anyways,
Make sure that your hands are always open when you bring them to the camera.
if we have any palm readers, just there you go. Take a picture of that and send me my reading. Thank you. You guys, here is my question for everyone. This is the most important question of them all for this episode. This is an easy one. Are you team short form content or team long form content for you as the creator of it? Not consuming, but you as creating. So what do you think, Jonathan?
I love
I feel
short
like
form.
forever it's been short form, but I feel like you're kind of into the long form.
I love short form, but I am doing a lot more long form because of what it can provide. So, both long form right now, long form.
I like that. For me, I've always been more of a long form person, even with YouTube. I'm like, yeah, I never really was into the short form, but I mean, I know obviously both are important. So, okay.
All righty.
That's
Mimi.
it.
That's it. That's another episode of Coffee
Thank you,
Social.
everyone. We really, really appreciate you guys, and we wish you all the happiest new year. Honestly, it's going to be a beautiful year. Believe in yourself. Do you have something for them to take with them?
Yeah, tune in next time, because next time we have a content planner for you. So we're going to walk you through how to plan your content. Again, another great tip for the new year.
Seriously, though, you guys, planning is key. So we're going to talk about that, especially if you're like, I have no idea where to start.
What? That's what so many people look at their content and planner and go, what is this? Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody. Bye, Jonathan Howard.
Bye, Mimi Langley.
Cheers.